Hey everyone, it's Counterspell Hater back again. Sorry for not posting in a while, but apparently that didn't bother you. Oh, thank you to all of you who have subscribed and given me 65 subscribers. I believe I left with 30 and I've now come back with 65. This is a great gift from you guys. Thank you so much. All the comments, all the views, all the likes, really appreciate it. Keep it up. I didn't come prepared really with anything for a 65 subscriber special, but I still will have a video for today. Anyways, so we're gonna get back into it. Dominaria United is around the corner, and you can bet I will be posting some Commander videos covering legendary creatures found within that set when it comes out, or if it's already out. But I will get to working on that with school and everything. So yeah, first day, woohoo. But with that said, before we get into the video, please like and subscribe to what you guys have been doing with great feedback and everything. I love it. The positive encouragement, telling me what I do great. And if you want to see a commander, just let me know by typing in the comments. First come, first serve. So get to the comments as fast as you can if you want to make a request. I will eventually get to all of your requests. Just don't make too many. But that shouldn't be a problem for you guys, because usually you guys just go with the flow on this channel, which is amazing. That tells me I'm doing good. But and also don't forget to hit the notification bell, that way you don't miss another one of my videos. Go watch some of my other videos, leave a like, subscribe and everything, leave a comment. And I think that's it. Let's get into this video. This is it. So we're gonna do an older commander. I didn't have really anything else prepared, so kind of a unique one. Thantis, the Warweaver. I believe I've not covered this because the reason yes, I did make a commander deck out of this, because sometimes the best offense is a good defense, as they say. So what are we doing with Thantis, the Warweaver? Well, we are making him as big as possible, forcing everyone to attack through Thantis. I think giving some of our creatures vigilance, maybe, or punishing our opponents for attacking. And with that said, let's get into it. Slumbering Dragon. This can punish our opponents by making a monster of a creature when they attack us. So then they will go somewhere else. This deck is, I guess, mainly about getting people to attack each other and punish those who attack us. This is an example of that. Stranglehold, make sure that no one can really get ahead or search for anything during combat or find anything useful that they'll need for when combat comes, because Stranglehold prevents your opponents from searching their libraries and stops extra turns that they would have completely. So no time lock, none of that. Immerstrom Predator. So since it's forced to attack, it's gonna automatically exile a card from a graveyard and put a +++ count on itself, and we can sacrifice creatures to this thing to tap it and give it indestructible until end of turn. It's a 3/3 flyer that can get big really fast because it's forced to attack every turn they can. Corridor Doomscourge. This causes our opponents to lose, each of our opponents to lose life, and us to gain 1 life each time that an attacking creature dies, which every single turn, no matter who it is, there will be attacking creatures. Every creature on that board will be forced to attack. And when Corridor enters the battlefield, he essentially goads everyone's creatures put short you can read the text for the official, like to see like what he officially does. Vargroth, Bloodskye's Sire, Death Touch and Boast. So Boast is great because this is also a ability we can only activate if we have attacked with this creature this turn, and we can activate it during combat because during combat this will be forced to attack. Therefore, we will be able to boast with this and search for something. Like Inferno Titan, which has an attack trigger that can kill some 1/1s or even a 3/3 and can buff itself up. Dragonkin Berserker allows us to boast at a reduced cost for each dragon we control, and the boast ability itself creates a 5/5, and this suits us because we like attackers and we want to make more attackers so we can out damage our opponents because we are red, green, and black. That is what we like to do. We like to grow strong, big, possibly get in an army and smash face. Ember Cleave could just allow us to outright kill someone. You figure Slumbering Dragon or Innistrung Predator with flying, fly over, double strike, +1/+1, and trample, flash, and this is the generic mana cost is reduced by 1 for each attacking creature we control. We're gonna have more than 4 most likely because all creatures are forced to attack, even on our turn. So this is definitely a must-have in Thantis decks. Probably Deathbringer Thoctor will probably be buffing itself up a bunch because of death in combat. Because everything is forced to attack. And then we can remove the multiple counters it gives itself to deal damage to a player or creatures to kill off more creatures, or to just outright kill someone. Quakebringer prevents our opponents from gaining life, so we can guarantee death at some point. And it slowly pings away at each of our opponents during our upkeep. And this ability triggers if Quakebringer is on the battlefield or if it is in our graveyard and we control a giant, and we have foretell, and this thing can be foretold, so we can play it on a later turn and guarantee that we're able to play it instead of having it discard from our hand forcefully. Tectonic Giant has an attack trigger that can deal through damage to each of our opponents, or maybe give us some answers we may need from the top 2 cards of our library. We can only play one of them now. Combat Celebrant allows us to have extra combat steps after the first one. Legion Loyalist. It has haste. It's 1/1. It's cheap. It allows us to keep more of our creatures during combat and gives them trample as well. And it also prevents our army. This really is a hard counter to army players because most army players rely on tokens. And if you see that line of text right at the bottom, that says until end of turn, and can't be blocked by creature tokens this turn. And since we're attacking with probably more than 2 creatures, this is going to be triggering every single time, meaning that our opponent is probably going to have a hard time blocking us in the game and on Instagram, which I don't have. Kazul, Tyrant of the Cliffs. This is kind of to swing attention away from us, because our opponent is going to have to pay attacks of 3 generic mana, or else we get a 3/3 red ogre creature token. Actually, if we're the defending player. Grand Warlord Rada to give us mana for when we attack, since we're going all out. Primeval Titan to help us find more ramp. Maraud, Fury of Archon can also trigger with off of Primeval Titan because of landfall. But that's not our main phase. So yeah. But still, if we're getting multiple combat steps, they're gonna get our creatures are now gonna get buffed up for each time we have attacked that creature has attacked this turn, and that will be all of our creatures if they're able to attack. Crankcoat, 10th Street Kingpin, is going to get bigger and bigger as we attack more and more and make us more of an army. Coastline Marauders, since it's forced to attack, this can really hurt like landfall players if they're like, especially blue-green players, if they've just got a ton of lands, this can just mow them right over. Xenaghost, God of Revels, is a nice creature because it's indestructible and it can go from being a creature to not being a creature to just an enchantment that's indestructible. That way we can sort of avoid removal in a way. Not really. If exile happens most of the time. At the beginning of combat on our turn, another target creature we control gains haste and essentially has its power doubled, because it gets +X until a turn where X is that creature's power. Legion Warboss can pump up some of our smaller stuff, so our tokens, and creates stuff that is forced to attack. Annex, Hardened in the Forge, can give us more tokens that are forced to attack. If he or another creature we control dies, which probably there will be creatures dying. There should be, if anything. Fearless Liberator, create some tokens with bows. Italic Primal Storm is a pretty broken card, and it suits this deck since it's going to be forced to attack every time it can. And when that happens, we'll be able to get some free stuff off of ourselves and our opponents. It's only a win for us. Black Market is a big card in this deck. Because whenever a creature dies, we put a charge counter on it, and charge counter on Black Market, I should say, and then we can end up getting a lot of mana because of all those charge counters on Black Market. And since we're going to be forced to attack every time during combat with all of our creatures, you get the point. Grave Titan, create us some tokens. Moldavine Reclamation, help us gain life and draw cards. Revenge of Ravens, swing attention away from us by punishing our opponents when they attack us and giving us more life. Hissing Misa, Miasma, punishes our opponents again if they dare to attack us. No Mercy, whenever a creature successfully deals damage to you, destroy it. This guarantees people will not attack us most likely, unless it's lethal. Dread, and again, basically no mercy, just put onto a creature, and it just comes back. So even if your opponent kills it, it's going to get shuffled into our library. Moon Reflection to double up on damage, essentially. Rakdos, Lord of Rides, to make your stuff cheap, since people are going to be losing life. Blood Artist, for when creatures die. Possibly a good win condition. Frankenharris Noble. We're able to just drain someone. We can't. With both cards, I thought Blood Artist hit everyone. Never mind. Corpsejack Menace. To double up on plus counters placed on creatures. So Thantis is going to get double the number of plus counters if an opponent of ours dares to attack us. Poison Tip Archer, Reach and Death Touch, very important for blocking. And whenever another creature dies, each one loses one life. Grothama, All Devouring. Since the creatures are forced to attack, they're going to have to fight. Our opponents can fight this creature. And when Grothama leaves the battlefield, each player draws cards equal to the amount of damage dealt to Grothama this turn by sources they controlled. So this can end up drawing everyone a lot of cards. May not be as beneficial to you, but it's still cards. And red, we're playing red and green and black. So we're known to run out of gas pretty fast, if you know what I mean, because we're in the right colors to run out of gas extremely fast. And by having that much more gas, we'll be able to keep going that much longer and eventually take the win. Elder Gargaroth can also draw us cards, gain us life, and create tokens. Has vigilance, reach, and trample, so it can also be a blocker if need be, and can keep us around the game. Doubling season to go along with all of our token creators. I recommend this in a lot of decks. Which, by the way, these are only sort of like recommendations, like a guide just to get you going in the right direction, like all the other videos I do, except the ones that aren't commander related. But aside from that, in all my videos covering like these commanders, these are just all like guidelines just to get you going in the right direction, to give you a general idea of what you should probably get. Like doubling season here, since we have a good amount of token creators, and doubles up on the amount of counters we put on permanents we control, if an effect would do that. Triumph of the Hordes to just outright win the game in a single combat, because Infect and Trample is broken and unfair in every way, and if you play it, you will probably lose every friend known to you. Maybe. Lord of Extinction. This is going to be getting really big because there's going to be a lot of stuff dying most likely and filling up our opponent's graveyards. This is especially like a hard counter to like graveyard sort of decks. And if an opponent's graveyard gets too big, we can just swing this towards them and they'll probably die. Give that thing a form of evasion and you're set. Harvest season is great because our creatures are going to be forced to be tapped, because they're going to be forced to attack by our commander, meaning that harvest season will get us a lot of cards if we have a lot of creatures remaining. Colonian Hydra, since it's forced to attack, each combat we will double the number of plus counters on each creature we control. And that will be guaranteed each and every turn for as long as Colonian Hydra is around. Speaking of plus counters, Vigor puts plus counters on our creatures by preventing damage that would be dealt to them, and putting that many plus counters on that equal to what would have been dealt. And it shuffles itself back into our library if it's put into a graveyard from anywhere. So even if our opponent mills it, kills it, it's still being put back into our library so we can draw it. Primeval Bounty is great because we're casting creature spells, non-creature spells, and we're playing lands. I usually recommend 50. So this will keep us in the game, create us tokens, and buff up our creatures. Mage Slayer could just end up killing someone if one of our creatures is big enough, like Thantis, Slumbering Dragon, Imistrum Predator, Lord of Extinction, Colonian Hydra, any of those, or just any creature in general that's big enough. And because they're forced to attack, having this equipped will be well worth it, because we can literally possibly kill someone. Vorinclex can lock up our opponents so they don't have as many ways out of being dealt damage during combat, because on later turns they may be a bit short on mana due to Vorinclex's second line of text, and we'll have more mana to play out creatures from our hand, so we can guarantee death in later turns. Primal Vigor is just like doubling season, except it's kind of for everyone, but it may not matter if we're able to outpower and out damage our opponents. Basically, this deck is a firefight sort of deck. You've got to kill your opponents before they can manage to kill you, because everything is forced to attack via the commander. Then we've got Spinerock Knoll. Sorry about the horrible quality. I'll read it to you. Hideaway. This land comes into play tapped. When it does, look at the top 4 cards of your library. Remove one. Exile back in the old days when this was printed, it said exile was removed from the game. So in this case, it's remove one from the game face down, then put the rest on the bottom of your library. Disconnect as sort of a mountain. Or for red, you can tap it, and then if you have dealt if you've dealt someone an opponent 7 or more damage this turn, you can play the exiled or removed card for free. So that'll be nice. So you could have like a big like haymaker, like Gargaroth, Vorinclex, or just something big in general. Mosswort Bridge does the same thing, except it's going to be even easier probably because we've got large creatures. And Hideaway, and the way we get our card out of Hideaway is by having a lot of power, of total power on our board state. Just read the third line of text, the bottom line of text. Castle Garenbrig is in here for helping us cast more creature spells or activating abilities of creatures if need be. Pickled Passage to help us search for lands. Blighted Woodland for even more land search. Isolated Watchtower, keep us on lands. Myriad Landscape, help with ramp. We're going to need a lot of ramp probably for this deck because we're playing a lot of big creatures. Keswick Wolf Run can give something trample and help us kill our opponents. And then we have $14 forests, 14 swamps, and 14 basic mountains. These are all basic, by the way. But yeah, and that is it for Thantis, the Warweaver. Anyways, I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and subscribe. Thank you for 65 subscribers, guys. Oh, and happy back to school, I guess. Happy first day, I guess I should say. I don't know if it's really happy. But anyways, aside from that, have a good day. Have a good day tomorrow. And also, do not forget to comment. If you're first come, first serve, then you can make a request to for a commander. Just make sure I can find it. If you want custom, I can still do those videos. If you guys want, make sure it's a commander I haven't already covered yet. And if you want to specify what type, so like an equipment commander or like Voltron Ramos, just let me know. You guys can do that. And please subscribe and leave a like on this video while you're at it. And aside from being first come, first serve, comment anyways, guys. I love the feedback from you. I love the feedback I've been getting from you guys, especially from like some other big YouTubers. One of them commented on like my most recent video. Not this one, but Vanifar. And don't forget to hit the notification bell, that way you don't miss another one of my videos. With that said, we're back into it. I will see you all tomorrow. Goodbye.